Hi guys, welcome back to the EC Physio YouTube channel. I wanted to do a quick video today to cover some of the general basics of a triathlon or time trial bike fit. Thanks for supporting the channel. Please hit the subscribe and like button if you want to continue seeing more content from the channel. When it comes to working with a triathlete or a time trialist, a large factor which determines what the fit will look like stems from the goals of that athlete. So as an athlete, you have to ask yourself what type of event you will compete in. Someone competing in a half iron or an Ironman distance may want to relax their fit a bit more for the goal of comfort and being able to sustain that posture for a long duration. Or if you're an athlete competing in a time trial that takes less than an hour, you may want to try a more aerodynamic position on the bike, and usually this comes at a cost of comfort. A time trialist is working like a diesel truck. It's a long and sustained aerobic effort. There are generally not a lot of quick changes of pace or accelerations in that type of a race or event. In this type of scenario, the advantages of setting up the cleats closer to the middle of the foot will far outweigh the negatives. I'll delve into more detailed video of this in the future, but long story short, this type of cleat setup will allow for a better ability to sustain a long and hard effort. It enables for a more aerodynamic position and allows for much better ability for triathletes, especially to transition to running immediately getting off the bike. The joint angles of the knees and shoulders don't change that much compared to a road bike setup. Biomechanically, we know that the angle of the knee should be around 30 degrees generally, and the shoulder of the angle should be around 90 degrees to be most efficient. The saddle is quite important when it comes to this type of fit. A triathlon-specific saddle that allows one to roll their pelvis forwards will enable the rider to open up their hip and allow them to get into a more aerodynamic position more comfortably. Setting up the cockpit will take the most time. There needs to be a lot of trial and error to find the right balance between comfort and aerodynamics. Things to consider are what type of aero bar to use, as well as height and width of the elbow placement. The more narrow and compact the fit, the less frontal area and more aerodynamic the cyclist will be. However, this will be at a cost of power output sometimes, since the lungs may not be able to fully expand and the comfort is sacrificed in the end. Some of your own tips and tricks that have worked for your triathlon or time trial bike, let me know in the comments section down below. As a final note, if it's a sanctioned race, there are certain regulations for how to set up the bike. An example, for an ITU sanctioned race, the nose of the saddle cannot be greater than 5 centimeters in front of the bottom bracket. For UCI sanctioned races, there will be other regulations in how to set up the saddle and reach to the shifters. I won't go into too much more detail here about the rules, but it's important to keep these in mind. And these rules do change from time to time, so it's best to check before your event. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.